Chapter 1, The Uninvited Guest. It was Christmas Eve in the small town of Everglen, where the frost clung to the windows and the streets gleamed with a chilling stillness. The town was tucked away in a forgotten corner of the world, nestled between the darkened woods and a river that always seemed to whisper secrets. Snowflakes fell like cold confetti, coating the streets, the trees, and the empty homes. The silence was absolute, as if the world had been swallowed by the night. In the heart of this desolate town, the Galloway family had gathered in their old, creaking house to celebrate the holiday. Despite the warmth of the fire crackling in the hearth, the atmosphere inside the house was heavy with unease. It was a grand house, built long ago, with high ceilings, long hallways, and rooms that stretched into dark corners. The Galloways had lived in this house for generations, but lately, they'd felt an odd presence, an unsettling feeling that something, or someone, was always watching them. Lily Galloway, the matriarch of the family, stood by the fireplace, carefully placing ornaments on the ancient Christmas tree. Her children, Emily and Jonah, were seated by the fire, their eyes darting nervously as they tried to ignore the cold draft that seemed to seep through the walls. Her husband, Edward, paced back and forth, his brow furrowed in thought. "This house, it doesn't feel the same," he muttered, staring into the fire. Lily smiled weakly. "It's just the cold, darling. We've been through this every year." But there was something about this night, something different. A feeling that lingered in the air, thick and oppressive. The house had a way of growing colder every year, and the fire never seemed to burn quite as bright. Then came the knock at the door. It was a sound that shattered the stillness, a loud, sharp rapping that echoed through the house. Lily froze, her heart pounding in her chest. Who could be out there in such a storm? The wind howled like a wailing banshee, and the snow fell in a relentless curtain. Edward looked at the clock. It was well past midnight. No one should have been out there. "I'll go," he said, his voice strained, but before he could move, the door creaked open. A figure stood in the threshold, silhouetted by the dim